Hey, this is Professor Homa. Welcome to WD02 Software Extension Styles exercise. Very similar to the exercise we just did with formatting, but we're going to apply styles instead of using Format Painter. I already have the file here that we're going to work with, and it's not a text file, so it should be easier to work with. I have it saved into my CSC 112 W2 folder, in my Word folder, and in my Assignments folder. And I'm just going to be able to open it up right away in Word instead of worrying about any kind of issues you may have had with a text file. So let me just double click to open that up. And here's the way the file will look when it's opened. It has a little more completed on it than the previous exercise. And like the top here is done. That's already bold, 18 point, and everything's in Cambria. Our margins are all at 1 inch. So we can kind of get right in and work on this. On your instructions, number one was just downloading and opening the file. Number two is actually making this first line here underneath the heading. We're going to make that bold, and then we're going to give it a space before of 12 point. So to give it a space before, you go to your paragraph dialog box launcher and click twice to bring it up to 12 point if it's going in those 12 point increments. And I'm going to hit OK. And then also, I'll go back to here. I could have stayed in there. I'll go back to here, and this is where I just made it 12 point. I'll go to my tabs, and by the way, if you see like default tabs in here already, you can always hit clear all if you have them in here. If it looks like this, then you're fine. But I'm going to put in 6. Now, on our last assignment, we used 5 for our right align tab. This one I'm going to use 6, so it looks a little different. So it's 6. It's going to be a right align tab. You can hit set, and then OK, and there it is. It's aligned at the 6-inch mark. And that's all I really have to do for that line. We have our space before, and we made it bold. The next couple lines that we're going to work with, if this is number 3 on your instructions, you're going to highlight Word through Pages. These are all the software extensions underneath this category. And I'm going to indent this a 1/4 inch. Again, I could use the paragraph dialog box launcher and go to my indentation area, and I'll put it up to 2 and then put a little 5 in there so it goes to a 1/4 inch. And then while I'm also in here, I'm going to go to tabs, and I'm also going to set it at 6, and it's also going to be a right tab, except this time we're going to put a leader on it. So it's a 6-inch right align tab with a leader. I'm going to hit set and then OK, and there, that part's done. Okay, and the last section that I'm going to format, this is the last time I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to highlight this section here, the general formats, and this is number 4 on your instructions. I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to put in a tab, and this time I'll do a tab a different way. I'll go over here to my kind of tab selector, and I'll click until it looks like a backwards L. And if I hover over that, you can see that that's a right tab. And I could go on my ruler here and set a right tab at 6. That's another way to set a tab. You could slide it, move it, or double click to open up the, if I wasn't sure if I got it right, I could double click on it, and there you can see it. It's set at 6, so I can cancel that. So there's my tab at 6. I don't need a leader here, but I do want to also do a left indent. So a left indent I could do also from my ruler. I could slide this over and line it up with the other side. I could do my left indent there as well, because this isn't going to be out at the margin like the software categories one. Okay, and then the last thing I have to do is a little space before, not as much, just a 6-point space before. And when I do that, it puts a little separation between the software extensions and this other kind of mini category here. Okay, so that's number 4 on our sheet, and we only have, I think, like 12 or 13 steps. And some of them are just saving and emailing, which you're used to doing. Okay, so that's step 4. For the next steps, what I'm going to do here, and actually just let me point out that I formatted things 3 ways. There's the kind of the software category headings, which is 12-point bold, a 12-point space before, and it has a right align tab. There's these items, all in here, this section all in here, and they all have a right tab at 6 inches. They have a leader along with the tab, and they're indented a 1/4 inch. Okay? And then the last thing is this line down here, the general formats, that has a space before of 6 point. It's bold, and it also has a right tab. And then everything else after this is going to repeat. Now, on our last assignment, we used this format painter, this thing over here, and that could be a little confusing sometimes, going back and forth and clicking and doing all that. But we're going to use something called styles, which will save our formatting, and we'll be able to apply it all through our document. And then if we ever need to make changes, we just go to our style and modify our style. So it'll make life a lot easier. It's a very efficient way of formatting.